Man, do we have a bunch of news to go over for Halo Infinite in today's video, guys. 343 put out a Halo Infinite development update video that was almost 30 minutes long and it included things like a recap of the flight and some really cool things to announce for the next flight, as well as what we can expect for the launch of Halo Infinite, when we'll see more campaign. They even showed off new weapons and some of the background footage. I'm gonna go over all of that. So this video is gonna be strictly about the news that 343 detailed in their development update video. However, it is a part 1 of 2 video. Part 2 being my personal opinions on the matter. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned to the channel later today. That will be uploaded and will be a really good discussion point between me and you guys. If you guys enjoy these kinds of Halo Infinite news videos, make sure you click that like button for me, help support the content, and subscribe if you're new here. You want to stay absolutely up to date on all the latest happenings in the world of Halo. Now, I think by far the most important thing to lead the video off with is Craig. I know a lot of you wondering what the heck is going on with Craig. Well, according to 343, he looks better than ever and actually has hair now. So enjoy clean shaven Craig while it lasted. So let's go over some of the details from the recent tech preview, flight, technical test, whatever you want to call it. 343 said that this was a resounding success for them as far as the data that they needed. They said that there was over 1 million bot matches played, as well as over 2 million weapon drills performed by the community. They also said that players filed thousands of support tickets, which is really good to hear. And one of the main feedbacks from the community was to be able to go on ahead after the flight is over and go to the Halo support site to fill out tickets. Usually when a flight ends, they shut down the Halo support site to be able to file tickets for that flight. That will not be the case in the future. They'll leave it open a little bit longer. They said, obviously, in hindsight, people want to go on ahead and play as much as they can. And then when the flight is over, they probably would be submitting feedback. They said just to make sure you guys take notes when you come across a bug so you could be as specific as possible, because it's not going to be fresh on your mind when they do this, so that you're still helping them out. Now, if you guys watched my graphics comparison video, you'll know that I talked about performance on the Xbox family of consoles, as well as on my PC, which shouldn't have been struggling with this game, but it was. Now, according to 343, there was a misconfiguration in the exe on PC. So the program wasn't running correctly, it had a misconfiguration. This caused a 20% performance decrease, and that issue has been fixed. So by the next flight, we should see a drastic improvement on PC. So that's got me super excited to do another comparison video for all of you. Now, for those of you who have a GTX 900 series card, there is a fix that they're working on for that. If you didn't know, anybody with a GTX 900 series card who got invited to the flight could not play. It was not able to be run if you had that card. 343 is currently working on a fix for that. So hopefully that is fixed by the next flight. So all of you out there who have those kinds of cards can get in and try it out. Now, within the next couple of months, 343 expects there to be a significant performance boost across PC and all the Xbox family of consoles. The next thing that 343 addressed was the match loading inconsistencies in the flights, and I had this happen to me a lot, especially within a party of 4. If we had 4 people, then it would happen to somebody all the time. It was a lot more stable with less than 4 players, but you would get booted to a black screen with white dots in the corner that was basically the loading screen. Now, speaking on that loading screen, it's gone. There will be a much better looking loading screen for you to stare at if there is a problem with the game. But they said they also have been testing this internally at the studio, and matches are loading much more consistently, and there's rarely ever any problems, so that is really good to hear. Now, a lot of people, for whatever reason, were wondering why bots the first time around. Despite that being a feature never before seen in Halo, obviously 343 would want feedback on bots. They also wanted people to go on ahead and be eased in, especially for new players. They want to ease them into the experience, and personally, looking back on it, I think it really was the right call, because I really didn't want to have to sweat right away my first time playing Halo Infinite. I really wanted to take it in and soak it in and get a real feel for the combat, how the game plays, all the different weapons, the movement, everything, and it really allowed for that by playing against bots who really weren't that great. However, they also had a more significant reason for doing this. Now, in a normal match, if we're just talking 4-on-4 Slayer, obviously 8 players in a lobby. So with the bot matches, it's only 4 players versus 4 bots. So technically you're doubling the amount of matches. So they put a really big stress on their servers. Since you're not having 8 people in the match, you're only having 4. You're having double those matches, and they said they're really comfortable with where they are as far as server load. So that was the other reason why they chose to do bots instead of doing PvP right off the bat. Now, speaking of PvP, the next flight is confirmed to have PvP, both 4-on-4 and big team battle. We're gonna be able to test both of them in the same flight while also having the stuff from the previous flight in there as well. So bot matches and the weapon drills will return in the academy. So it is going to be a content rich flight. So make sure you guys fill out those Halo Insider profiles if you haven't already. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's how you get into these flights early. It's not an open beta, anything like that. You have to go through a couple of hoops to get into the Halo Insider program. If you're curious on how to do that, you know your boy's got a video on that as well. Now, speaking on flighting, 343 confirmed that there will be flighting post-launch as well. And they want to test out new features, much like they've done with MCC. They're going to test it out, send it out to the public to help get any kind of feedback they can, report any bugs before it's released so that it is completely polished. Now, 343 did say that they plan on showing more campaign gameplay before launch. That is coming. Right now, the studio is in what they call shutdown mode. So that means that they're really just squashing bugs and playtesting a lot to go on ahead and make sure that this game is 100% good and as bug-free as possible for launch. Now, they said once they get out of that shutdown mode, that's when we'll start seeing more campaign gameplay as well as new trailers. Now, let's talk about some of the launch features and lack of launch features for the game. So, split screen will be there at launch for all Xbox devices. PC, not so much. They said that will not make it at launch. So hopefully it still does come, and hopefully it doesn't take too long, because that's something we still haven't seen for MCC. 343 did say that they will have a release date very soon. Still could be Gamescom next week, where they drop the release date for Halo Infinite. We know that Call of Duty Vanguard is now coming out on November 5th, which I believe is the same day as Forza Horizon 5. And we know that Battlefield is in October. So with all that information now, Halo can pick a date to really not compete with those two big games, even though I don't think Call of Duty is really on anybody's radar this year. It's still gonna sell well, it's still gonna sell millions. It's still a competitor for Halo. They did say that a season in their minds is about 3 months long. So with that information in mind, let's talk about what will not be there at launch. So campaign co-op will not make it at launch for Halo Infinite. They said that they are planning to release that in season 2 of the game. That is the current plan, which means 3 months after launch. The other big thing that will not be there at launch is Forge. It's just not ready yet. They said that this is planned to be released for season 3 of Halo Infinite, which means about 6 months after the launch of the game, if everything goes right. Obviously, COVID could play another huge factor into this. Try to be respectful, please, and be courteous to the developers and to other people. Don't be name calling, don't be insulting people. Just not the right way to go about it. Constructive criticism is fine. It's completely fine to be disappointed or even angry about this. Try to keep a cool head about it and have a discussion. Now, when talking about the launch of the game, they are still releasing this year, they said, with campaign and the first season of multiplayer. And 343 reiterated that their #1 priority is to ship a quality product. So if it isn't ready, they don't want to go on ahead and put it out just to put it out there. They want to make sure it's 100% good to go. And that's a no-brainer to me, especially after the debacle that was MCC. Now, they did talk about delaying the entire game, but decided not to, just for those 2 features. They feel like everything else is really ready to go, and that's why they decided to, hey, let's push those back a little bit, leave them in the oven a little bit longer, but still give Halo fans something to play this year, because the wait has been long enough, 6 years. Now, they did say that there will be a seasonal roadmap, and that's going to be really interesting to see what kind of content we're going to be getting in the future of Halo. They've already planned ahead by 1 year for content for Halo Infinite, much like the Halo Infinite esports team has done as far as events and stuff. So that is really good to see that they have that kind of foresight and know what they want to do as far as content. We know Halo Infinite could be a lot longer than 1 year though as a game. They hopefully plan to support it for a decade, so we'll just have to wait and see what kind of content 343 has in the works. The possibilities are literally infinite. I know that pun sucks, but gonna use it anyways, don't care. Now, the one question that I still have as far as campaign goes and co-op is, will there be crossplay between PC and Xbox? It's still unclear. When they talked about crossplay in the past, they were very specific, saying it was multiplayer. I really hope that we do get PC and Xbox crossplay for campaign. That would be a really, really big bummer. And I wonder if that's why they need more time as well. That might be one of the things that they need to work on. So we'll just have to wait and see. If you guys look at the TV on the right, we see our first look at a Sentinel in Halo Infinite, and then to the left of that, some sort of kinetic weapon ammo station. In the next screenshot, we see some sort of banished interior, which looks really cool. And finally, a look at the shock rifle, which we've seen from a bunch of different toys, but never in game. And then all the way to the left, I'm not sure what weapon this is. It kind of looks like the Sentinel beam. Let me know what you guys think. But I just want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. Like I said, stay tuned to the channel later today for my thoughts and opinions on this announcement from 343, as well as a video tomorrow detailing another new Season 8 feature that is getting added for MCC that I think you guys are going to be really interested in. That was actually announced yesterday. And I hope to catch you in either a previous video of mine or a future video of mine. Until that time comes, I'm your boy Patman, and I'm out.